Hello students, I am Kavita Pandey, Assistant Professor, Kamla Nehru College of Pharmacy, Butibori, Nagpur, is going to discuss about the history of pharmacopoeias. After going through this video, you will be able to explain about the official books in pharmacy and also able to describe the history of pharmacopoeias. History and background. Overwhelming empirical knowledge of mankind gained during centuries and constant efforts to establish better healthcare possibilities have led to the creation of list of origin, preparation and healing properties of medicines. The term pharmacopoeia first appeared as a distinct title in a work published in Basel, Switzerland in the year 1561 by Dr. A. Foss, but it does not have got appeared in the general use until the beginning of 17th century. The purpose of publication of pharmacopoeia is to control the quality of medicines as per the standard to ensure the availability of safe, effective, good quality of pharmaceutical care for all. The word pharmacopoeia is derived from the ancient Greek words pharmako means a drug. Then the verb stem poi means to make, and finally the abstract noun ending ia. These three elements together can be rendered as drug making or to make a drug. A pharmacopoeia in its modern sense is a legally binding collection prepared by a national or a regional authority of standards and quality specifications for medicines used in that country or region. Now let us see about international pharmacopoeia. The role of modern pharmacopoeia is to furnish the quality specifications for active pharmaceutical ingredients, general requirements for dosage forms. The existence of such specifications and requirements is necessary for the proper functioning and regulatory control of medicines across the world. The International Pharmacopoeia is issued by WHO as a recommendation with the aim to provide international standards, including less technically demanding alternatives where needed, for adoption by the member states to help achieve a potentially global uniformity of quality specifications for selected pharmaceutical products, excipients and dosage forms. The next is British Pharmacopoeia BP. It is published by Health Ministry of United Kingdom. The first edition of BP was published in the year 1864 and it was divided into two parts. The one Materia Medica and the other Preparation and Compounds. It is also a book of official reference in Australia and Canada. It is mostly published in every 10 years and addendums to it are published as per the need. The another pharmacopoeia is United States Pharmacopoeia USP and another book of reference, that is National Formulary. USP was published in the year 1880 by the authorities of United States Pharmacopoeial Conventions of America. NF was published in the year 1888 by the authorities of American Pharmacists Association. A combined volume of USP-NF is being published since 1975. Another book for the reference is British Pharmaceutical Codex. It is official book for reference and was first published in the year 1907 and presently it is known as Pharmaceutical Codex. Here is a picture of some pharmacopoeias across the world. Now let us study about Indian Pharmacopoeia. IP. IP is an official document meant for overall quality control and assurance of pharmaceutical products marketed in India. IP or any part of it has got a legal status under the Schedule 2 2nd of Drugs and Cosmetics Acts 1940 and rules thereunder. Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee IPC publishes Indian Pharmacopoeia on behalf of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. History of IP. The general concept of medicinal plants was published in the year 1844, and in the year 1864 the drugs from the BP and IP not as official were included in it. In the year 1885 the British Pharmacopoeia was the official book for reference in India. An actual process of publishing IP started in the year 1944 under the chairmanship of Colonel R.N. Chopra. In the year 1948, Government of India constituted a permanent IPC and also established the Central Indian Pharmacopoeia Laboratory. The first edition of IP was published in the year 1955, and it had both the traditional and Western drugs generally used in India. It included 985 monographs. The second edition of IP was published in the year 1966 under the chairmanship of Dr. B. Mukherjee, and it included 93 new monographs. The change in the titles of the monographs from Latin to English was observed in it. In the view of growth of pharmaceutical industries in India, the reconstitution of IPC was done in the year 1978. The third edition of IP was published in the year 1985 under the chairmanship of Dr. Nityanand. It included 260 new monographs, and water for the pharmaceuticals use was also added to this. It also included the new different techniques for the identification of the compounds, and it also included most of the new drugs manufactured and marketed in India during that period. Fourth edition of IP was published in the year 1996 under the chairmanship of Dr. Nityanand, and it was published in 2 volumes. It has 1149 monographs, 123 appendices, of which 294 monographs were new, and 110 monographs were also deleted from it. Ultraviolet spectroscopy and IR spectroscopy were used as identification tests in this edition. Now the fifth edition of IP. It was published in the year 2007, and also the decision to omit the less used products in the products from the product monographs from the IP was taken during this. It covered the drugs formulations under the National Healthcare Programs and Essential Medicines also. It included antiretroviral, anti-cancer, anti-tubercular and herbal drugs. The monographs of vaccines, immunosera for human use, blood products, biotechnological products were also included in it. After this, the 6th edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in the year 2010. It comprises of 3 volumes. In volume 1, the notices, acknowledgements, introduction, general chapters and reference data is given. The volume 2 covers the general notices, dosage forms, drug substances, pharmaceutical aids from the alphabets A to M. In the volume 3, the general notices, dosage forms, drug substances, pharmaceutical aids from alphabets N to Z are included. It also includes human vaccines, human immunosera, herbs and herbal products, blood and blood-related products, biotechnology products and veterinary products also. It also includes an index. The 7th edition of IP was published in the year 2014 and which comprises of 4 volumes. It incorporates 2,548 monographs of the drugs. Among these, 577 are the new monographs. It also includes 19 radiopharmaceutical monographs, 31 herbal monographs, 10 antibiotics and 5 vaccines and human immunosera products also. The 8th edition of IP was published in the year 2017. It comprises of 4 volumes. It is incorporated in 220 new monographs of the drugs. General chemical test and TLC methods are nearly omitted from it. Instead of this, the new instrumental techniques like UV, IR, HPLC are described. The replacement of pyrogen test by the bacterial endotoxin test is also there in 8th edition of IP. More emphasis is given on the chromatographic methods for assay in this edition of IP Indian Pharmacopoeia. Now, the addendums have been there to the pharmacopoeias as it is published during every 10 years. So, as and if requirements, the new addendums or the supplements are there. So, first edition, the supplement was published in the year 1960. For the second edition, the supplement was published in the 1975. An addendum was added in the year 1989 and 1991 to the third edition. The fourth edition, 1996, had 3 addendums in the year 2000, which included the supplements describing the veterinary products. And in the another addendum was in the year 2002, and in the 2005 addendum included antiretroviral drugs. To the fifth edition, the supplement was 2008. In the sixth edition, the addendum was in the year 2012. For the 7th edition, the addendum was in the year 2015 and 2016. And for the 8th edition, the addendum was published in the year 2019. Now, what is pharmacopoeial monograph? We'll just have a brief look about what are the things that are included in the monograph. So, first see about monograph. A monograph is a written document or a standard that describes an item, which may be the finished drug, drug ingredient, or a food chemical. It is published in official pharmacopoeias and it provides the following information about the compound: the name of the substance, its definition, solubility, package, storage, labeling requirements, impurity profile, information on taste. So in impurity profiles, there are various tests for the substances is there. Also the test for purity is included, dosage form, category, all these are included in the pharmacopoeial monograph. From the monograph, you can know all the things about any chemical or any pharmaceutical dosage forms. That is how to prepare, what is its molecular formula, and then the standards for checking its purity and other things. So we are also getting it through it the appropriate strength and quality and purity of a drug. For the reference purpose, here is a list of the books. You can go through it. Thank you for listening. Take care, stay safe, stay home, and also one message from me is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you very much.